Part 45. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 441. Master Tongtian, please. Xiao Xian sat down and made a gesture of invitation to the leader of Tongtian. The other party sat down without hesitation and looked at the cigarette curling up in front of him. He smiled and said, I have long heard that the Xiao family master manages the younger generations of the family. In the entire prehistoric period, the children of the Xiao family grew the fastest, and they can be said to be the most envied children of the clan heads. I wonder what the Xiao family master's method of discipline is. Xiao Xian lightly clasped his index finger on the stone table. It's just a big change to some traditional customs. Those theories that others consider to be supreme theories, to me, are just stumbling blocks that hinder the growth of the family. Since it's a stumbling block, kick him away and things will naturally be solved. Leader Tongtian was horrified. How can this be said and done? Both Tiandao and the infinite demons behind him are very powerful beings. Just one day Zhu Hongjun had already suppressed him to the point of being unable to move. I am completely ignorant, please give me some advice from the Xiao family master. Xiao Xian wrote the word kill on the desktop. But it quickly disappeared before our eyes. Just one glance shocked the leader of Tongtian cult. He didn't expect Xiao Xian to be so straightforward. After a pause, he said sternly, Master Xiao, please give me some advice. Xiao Xian was a little bit in the air, and a sword energy enveloped the Tongtian cult leader. Golden light instantly rushed into the sky. This is my sword energy, which contains a ray of my soul power. It can help you at critical moments and help you turn the situation around and turn danger into safety. Xiao Xian's cold voice echoed in the air. When Master Tongtian came to his senses, the figure of the other party had disappeared from sight. His heart was beating wildly, but with endless joy and excitement. Kill Hongjun and gain the status of saint. This is something he never dared to think about before. But now, he has infinite confidence. Daezu Hongjun set up the list of gods this time. It is to exclude dissidents and not only control powerful supporters. You can also directly deal with those who oppose you, which can be said to kill two birds with one stone. Since Daezu Hongjun can ignore the relationship between master and disciple, why should he think about the old relationship? Therefore, he headed towards Tianweishan without any hesitation. At this time, the world was also in an unstable stage. Dxian led all mankind to fight against the gods. With the help of the phoenix, not only 3 gods were killed. Even the power of heaven has been weakened. Humanity saw hope, under the leadership of Dxian. Coming towards heaven. Seeing this scene, Tiandao knew that he could no longer sit back and wait for death. Otherwise, if Dao rises, he will really have no choice but to die. Therefore, they directly captured all the Phoenix clan. In this way, they gain the ability to reborn from the ashes. However, the arrival of Heavenly Dao directly detonated the power of rebirth of the Phoenix clan. With the help of the power of the Avenue, the power of the Phoenix instantly swallowed his clone. This blow directly hurt his roots, making it impossible to recover in a short period of time. The leader of the Phoenix clan was relieved when he saw this. It also strengthened his determination to join the Xiao family. What happened to the Phoenix clan gave the Dragon and Kylin clans a sense of crisis. If they don't do something, they will really disappear into the vast continent. Therefore, as soon as something happened to the Phoenix clan, they rushed to the Xiao family. But he was told that Xiao Xian had already gone out. Just when they were running around in a hurry, the top 10 geniuses who had experienced calamity abroad all returned to their families. And he gave a mantra to the heads of the 2 tribes. I want to break out of the siege and go to heaven. Just a few words made the heads of the Dragon clan and Kylin clan feel timid in their hearts. If they attack heaven at this time, wouldn't they be seeking death? Xiao Tianyuan saw what they were thinking, so he said, if you feel something is wrong, you can leave on your own. Now, except for the Xiao family children who are stationed as guards, everyone in the Xiao family is going to attack Heavenly Court and Buddhism. After this calamity, Xiao Tianyuan has become a great saint. Little Tiandao Hongjun was just a little ant to him. It takes the blink of an eye to regain heaven and Buddhism. Now reincarnation has realized the great way and recreated the 6 paths of reincarnation. All ghosts in the human world are contained in it. Coupled with Ho Tu's guidance, the underworld has opened up the passage to the human world. Dead humans can meet with their living relatives at designated times. And if the other party does good deeds in the human world, it will most likely help improve their status in the underworld. In Yaokai's internal and external cooperation, Tianting was quickly conquered. As for other things, he doesn't have to worry about it. So he beat Daezu Hongjun and fled without even losing a hair. When Tianting received the news of the Xiao family's crusade, it didn't take it to heart at all. Infinite Henmo. Then he closed his eyes and took a nap, heading towards Wangshu's body. But they never expected that a traitor like Yaokai would appear in heaven. With the help of God Xian and others, Buddhism was also conquered at the same time. In his opinion, if you have plugins and don't use them, that's stupid. The leader of Tongtian cult released Xiao Xian's soul power at the moment Daezu Hongjun summoned him. When he saw the realm of Dao Saint in Yaokai, he was even more shocked. There, he saw a long-lost bright smile. Xiao Xian waved his big hand, and a wisp of power of the avenue regrouped. And it surrounded her like a white silkworm cocoon. The improvement in the status of the underworld can be fed back to them and help them increase their practice. He quickly and accurately strangled him to death. The affairs of heaven, Buddhism, and the underworld are all taken care of by samsara, so he doesn't need to worry about them. Otherwise, when you get better, I'll have to work hard to fight with you. The soul will go to deal with those who do bad things and seek benefits for itself. So after the matter came to an end, he went to the cave where Wangshu's true body was placed. Even if they have great strength, they are still mortal and will die. He looked at the infinite demon that turned into a black ball in front of him. She actually hides it so deeply. On the contrary, doing bad things will be fed back to the deceased souls in the underworld. In their view, the Xiao family is a group of ordinary people. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangzan, Xiao Qingyuan, and others also appeared behind him. Xiao Xian has appeared above the sky. The successive defeats of his men made Daezu Hongjun feel an unprecedented crisis. At the same time, seeing as you haven't recovered yet, I will reluctantly accept you. Therefore, it was decided to summon Tongtian cult leader and Yuanqi Tianzun to join the battle. Great, I've finally waited for this day. In order to save his life, Yuanqi Tianzun chose to run away as soon as heaven was conquered. At the same time, are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 442. The children of the Xiao family were extremely excited when they looked at the scene in front of them. Ever since Wangshu was placed at his origin by Xiao Xian, they were waiting for Wangshu's return, and now the general trend of the world has been finalized. This moment finally arrived. Xiao Xian opened his palms, and a white light slowly rose. Wangshu's figure gradually appeared in front of everyone, and with a wave of his hand, Wangshu, who was sleeping, slowly opened his eyes. Upon seeing this, Xiao Xian rushed forward and hugged her in his arms. Xian, I've finally waited for you. The first time Wangshu saw Xiao Xian, he hugged him in his arms. She has been waiting for Xiao Xian for countless galaxy years. But before there was time to reminisce about the past, a long milky white river appeared in the sky. Countless starlights surrounded the surroundings, forming streaks of flowing sword light. The terrifying momentum swept across the sky and was bound to destroy the entire prehistoric world. This is. Xiao Tianyun took a step forward, his face was cold, and his eyes showed fear. Could it be that the way of heaven is making a comeback? Xiao Jiangxin's body erupted with terrifying sword energy, and murderous intent raged in his eyes. Even Xiao Xian was shocked by the scene in front of him. The way of heaven was a product indirectly created by him, at the moment it was destroyed. It has disappeared from the world, with no possibility of coming back. The only explanation is that this is a new crisis that emerged after the disappearance of heavenly Dao. Once the way of heaven disappears, everything will enter a new setting system. In other words, this is very likely to be a catastrophe related to the life and death of the prehistoric world. Wang Shu looked at the scene in front of him and then said, "This is the entrance to the great Dao world. Avenue world." Everyone was shocked when they heard this. Isn't the great Dao the method practiced by Xiao Xian? Nowadays, their cultivation system is also the power of the great avenue. Therefore, in their minds, Dao is already the strongest system by default. But now there is actually a world of avenues. As you may think, everyone in the Dao world is the power of the Dao through cultivation. In that world, the power of the great avenue was the main cultivation system, but it was the most basic cultivation system. The cultivation system that can truly dominate the world of Dao is Wu. There, the cultivators who can cultivate Wu are only 1 in 100 geniuses. If there is no mastery of cultivation, it will only be their basic ability to create a prehistoric world. Wang Shu's words not only shocked the genius of the Xiao family, but also Xiao Xian was surprised. If he is a member of the great Dao world, then the infinite Hangmo is also a person from that world. The death of the immeasurable demon triggered a certain switch in the great world, which was the death disaster of the prehistoric world. This death disaster will reshuffle the ancient world, and everything will return to nothingness. Since he comes from the world of Dao, he will not be affected by the calamity of death. In other words, if he doesn't make some changes, he will re-enter the process of rebuilding the past. Over and over again, there is no end. Everyone in the Xiao family was completely shocked by Wang Shu's words. A powerful man like the head of the family is just the most ordinary existence in the world of Dao. The people in that world are so terrifying. We originally thought that becoming a saint is already a very powerful existence, but who knows, in the eyes of the other party, he is just an ant-like existence. Wang Shu recalled the scene he saw, and then looked at Xiao Xian. During my coma, I entered that world and became a part of it. I'm lucky enough to be a powerful person in that world, but I'm not strong enough to shake their rule. Now that the entrance to the Avenue world is open, if it cannot be closed in time, the prehistoric world will fall into endless disasters. Xiao Xian was shocked. Which world did you go to? Yes, although your power of the great Dao can help me stabilize my soul and stay in my body, it cannot make me resurrect from death. By mistake, my soul entered the world of Dao under the influence of the power of Dao. Death disasters occur in the ancient world because the strong men in that world have murderous intentions towards a dead creature that has a sense of resistance. If you want to solve the calamity of death, you have to cultivate to the realm of nothingness. Only then will you be able to turn things around. Wang Shu's voice was firm, but also revealed a little helplessness. There were so many powerful people in that world, and people like her could only be called the best. If you want to truly shake an existence like a big tree, it is tantamount to hitting an egg against a stone. Then what should we do? Enter there through the entrance to the Avenue world. Xiao Tianyun's face was full of anxiety. Now that the prehistoric world is about to face a calamity of death, it is equivalent to the fact that the world in the heavens will also be swallowed up by it. If we don't do anything, we will die. Xiao Jiangxin stepped forward to agree. I'm afraid it's not that simple. Even the head of the family is just a small member of that world. Not to mention us. Even if we can enter the world of Dao regardless of our identity, that entrance alone is enough to destroy us. Xiao Qingyun pointed out pointedly. Xiao Tianyun and Xiao Jiangxin were silent. Her words were unpleasant, but they were unchangeable facts. Wang Shu sighed slightly. Entering the Dao world requires the cultivation of Dao Zuji. Otherwise, it will be swallowed up by the great world and disappear into the boundless. Xiao Xian asked, how are the cultivators in the Dao world distributed? In the world of the great Dao, the power of the great Dao is the main cultivation ability, and it is also the source of cultivation for cultivators. But it is divided into three realms. The Tao system is the most basic way of cultivation. The strongest one is Wu, followed by Dao Genji. Zuji is like the great Luo Jingxian in the prehistoric world, and his fighting power is comparable to that of a saint. Genji is the standard of heavenly saints, while Wu is the being who can create a new world. Wang Shu's metaphor caused all the Xiao family children present to fall into silence. De Dao Zuji is already the existence of De Luo Jingxian in the prehistoric world. This is just the beginning stage, with such terrifying combat power. If they hadn't heard it from Wang Shu, they wouldn't have believed it. Xiao Xian was silent for a moment after hearing this. Now that that world has taken action against Hong Huang, he can no longer sit still and wait for death. Wang Shu, do you exist in this world or that world now? This is what he is most concerned about right now. Wang Shu's eyes were unwavering. The prehistoric world has been affected by the death calamity and will be destroyed. As an indigenous resident here, it is my duty to protect my homeland. These words made everyone present feel the power in Wang Shu's heart. You go ahead and leave. We'll meet at the top. Xiao Xian's answer made Wang Shu more determined. You have never been one to disappoint people. As the words fell to the ground, Wang Shu's figure disappeared from everyone's eyes. Master, do you really want to go to the Dao world? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 443. Xiao Xian nodded. I originally thought that the prehistoric world was my origin. Now it seems that the prehistoric world is just a place on my path in this life. If you want to know my life story behind me, you can only go to the great world. Not only for myself, but also for Wang Shu. Then he looked at the Xiao family on the side. Now that the situation in the prehistoric world has been determined, your strength has no enemies here. But remember to guard against arrogance and impetuosity, practice well, and carry forward the family. The Xiao family is my foundation. After saying this, Xiao Xian's figure disappeared from everyone's eyes. As the white light above the sky disappears above the sky, everyone in the Xiao family also left separately. They have a more important mission on their shoulders. After Xiao Xian entered the entrance of the Dao world, he was flashed by a dazzling white light. When he opened his eyes again, he appeared in the Milky Way. This is. Pictures of countless worlds appeared before his eyes, including humans and monsters. There are even centaurs appearing. Xiao Xian was surprised and reacted in a moment. The white light that appears at the entrance to the avenue. It should be emanating from here. And the reason why he was not swallowed up by the long river of time may be the reason of the system. Before the system leaves, it leaves behind a probing eye that can identify all things. Thinking of this, he used his exploratory eyes to check his current location. The core point of the long river of time, you can go to all world channels at will, and are not affected by the enchantment of the world channels. Unexpectedly, he arrived at the core point of the long river of time by accident. Xiao Xian withdrew his exploratory eyes, and then looked at the countless small pictures in front of him. Now he seemed to be standing in front of a monitoring room. These small worlds in front of you are equivalent to monitoring the content below. The prehistoric world is also included, but it does not have its own section. The world of the heavens and the prehistoric world belong to the same territory to a certain extent. The river of time can transport the user to any area. If only we could hold the long river of time in our hands. So in the world of Deo, many things are easier to do. Even if life is in danger, it can be resolved in time. Now he is an invincible existence in the prehistoric world. But going to the Avenue world is just the beginning stage. In a world where so many powerful people exist, using cheats is the best way to save your life. Coupled with the Deo system of cultivation, combined with the ability to travel through time in the long river of time, you can engage in space battles, so even leapfrogging challenges won't be a problem. But the long river of time does not belong to the three realms, and it is excluded from the six realms. It can be said that the long river of time is the existence of a creator. Not controlled or influenced by anyone or anything. It is an uncontrollable factor, and ordinary people will be swallowed up by it even if they are slightly contaminated. What's more, if you don't control it, as long as you touch it, you will have cause and effect due to contamination. In the end, he died in immeasurable calamities, in order to avoid being swallowed up by immeasurable calamities. Xiao Xian entered the core position of the long river of time. Then release his sea of consciousness. The long river of time cannot be let go, nor can countless calamities be contaminated. The best thing to do is to do the opposite. The moment Xiao Xian's sea of consciousness appeared, the entire river of time turned into dark black. The vast and endless interstellar galaxy tightly wraps it. It's mind-blowing. Xiao Xian used his sea of consciousness to relate the immeasurable calamity to himself. To put it simply, it means turning countless tribulations into your own. What kind of immeasurable calamity he will experience is all controlled by himself. Whether it is meeting a beautiful woman or becoming the child of luck, it is no longer controlled by the passage of time. It's all up to him. This is so cool. It is equivalent to a game. He is both a player and an NPC in the game. He even became a capitalist in the entire world because of it. Countless scenes of small worlds suddenly emerged in his mind. Even the treasures of heaven and earth, as well as the martial arts, will all appear in his mind. He is also a planner who can change the rules of the game at will. But with this move of his, the river of time not only became his shuttle tool. In other words, the devouring behavior just now. If this is the case, then why should I be afraid? At this moment, Xiao Xian suddenly understood something. As long as his thoughts move, the current situation of those small worlds will appear in his mind. Detailed information on the heavenly materials, earthly treasures, kung fu, and wuji appeared in front of you. Xiao Xian was surprised, and then clearly divided the elements of each world according to the standards of each world. But just in case, he familiarized himself with all the cultivation systems of the Deo world. Originally, time was just a monitor and transmission tool. As the mind moves, the originally three-dimensional small world all floats. It's kind of like that, just like a computer. Can it still be done like this? All the world channels are in my possession. It's just a world of avenues, but I'm still afraid of nothing. After a brief fainting. Then he headed towards the entrance of the avenue world with confidence. It's too chaotic. It would be nice if we could arrange them in order of strength. Everything in front of him was now arranged in order of strength and weakness. I wonder if I can control a separate world. In other words, from now on, he can change the rules of this world at will. Let him inadvertently change the original system of the entire world. Xiao Xian just wanted to give him a thumbs up for this wise decision. Originally I just wanted to avoid the immeasurable calamity. Xiao Xian said thoughtfully, it happened in a moment. In an instant, the relevant systems of the Deo world appeared in front of his eyes. He turned out to be its founder. Even the major forces, families, and sects of the Deo world all appeared before his eyes. Xiao Xian raised his eyebrows. Just click on the screen of Dao World. Xiao Xian's consciousness gradually regained consciousness. He may very well have become a capitalist in this world. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 444. Dao World, Tianxian Dao Domain. Xiao Xian's figure appeared in a deserted mountain forest. The trees are green and the flowers are in full bloom. But there was no daylight, shrouded in a black smoke, and not a trace of spiritual power could be seen. It stands to reason that such a place should have the most spiritual energy. How come this is such a completely opposite place? Then use the exploring eye directly. See related information here. Eye of the Ancients, the forbidden area of the Dao world contains the resentment of heaven and earth, absorbing the grievances of everyone in the Dao world. The grievances contained can make cultivators fall into demons. Those with low cultivation level will die if touched, but if they can break through the barrier of resentment, they can gain supreme cultivation spiritual power. That's it. Xiao Xian walked towards inside. The deeper you go, the thicker the black mist becomes. But in Xiao Xian's eyes, these grievances are just ordinary thick fog. It poses no threat to him and has no lethality at all. Since there is a very strong spiritual power in it, then choose a place here to practice. Xiao Xian has been practicing for countless years and knows how important a foundation is for a practitioner. Although he has become the master of all realms, he can easily change the rules of this world. But he was also deprived of all realms of cultivation. In other words, he became invincible, but at the same time he became weak. The current situation is that he has become the NPC who dominates all realms. But there is one more control right, and also because of the identity of the NPC. It limits his cultivation activities in this world, which means that he can only intimidate others. And cannot cause harm to them, otherwise they will be harmed. But they were able to torture and kill him. How could he tolerate this situation? The restrictions are only on his identity, not his abilities. So Xiao Xian decided to use this bug for his own purposes. Finally he settled on a cave. This is the place with the strongest aura of the entire ancient eye. By practicing here, the speed of improvement will be greatly increased. Ding! It is detected that the host has become the master of all worlds, and the system of all worlds is being bound. At this time, a cold mechanical sound sounded in his mind. Xiao Xian was shocked. Hadn't this thing already left? Why did you come back again? Is it still possible to restore factory settings? Warn. Warn. It is detected that the host has become the master of all worlds and can control the life and death of all worlds. Because of the existence of the strongest person, the system is no longer worthy of entering into a relationship with the host. Therefore, it is changed to a cooperative relationship, choosing to surrender independently and becoming the host's partner. Ding! When a rejection reaction is detected in the host, the system will automatically recognize the host and help the host resist injuries when necessary. Xiao Xian rolled his eyes. Reject. Ding! If the host is detected to be opposed, the system will enter destruction mode. Xiao Xian raised his eyebrows slightly, and then looked at the red warning screen in his mind. He wanted to see what would happen if the system destroyed itself. After all, I have read so many system documents, but I have never seen a destroyed system. Therefore, I am very much looking forward to the next operation of the system. However, at this moment, the system turned into a little blue man-like hire and appeared in front of him. The host can try to reverse the system's decision. You have the right to make the decision. Xiao Xian shrugged indifferently. I am now the master of all realms, and there is no need for such useless plugins in the system. Since you have already said you are not worthy of me, the low-level things should be destroyed. System. Why the hell did you rely on this system to cheat in the first place? If it weren't for this system, you would be where you are now. Becoming the master of all realms was indirectly caused by the system. Ding, it has been detected that the system and the host have a cooperative relationship that lasts for tens of millions of years. Now the system automatically cancels the destruction mode, and the host can set the system mode by itself. Xiaoxian, no need, just destroy it. The system was a little anxious, and its tone became urgent. Host, do you really think that the Lord of all realms is the most powerful existence? In that vast universe, the Lord of all realms is just a speck of dust, and your identity is even more taboo in that universe. Although I can't do anything else, I can help you get closer to that universe step by step and uncover the mystery. The system's words moved Xiaoxian's heart. He always thought that he was just a little time traveler. But in the end, it was discovered that he was actually the founder of the prehistoric world. Just when he accepted his identity, another great world appeared. 100 years ago, there was a natural phenomenon, and the aurora lasted for 10 years in the world of Dao. Then the ancient eye appeared. Ding, the host has expelled Qi for the first time and activated the body of all poisons from now on. It is invulnerable to all poisons and becomes the most poisonous body in the world. At the same time, none of these experiences can explain it clearly. In order to prevent myself from burping, I worked hard to please myself. Being able to transform such strong resentment, not even a cultivator of the third level of the Wuji realm can do it. Cultivators who have comprehended the ultimate level will not only have a breakthrough in their realm, but their combat power will also be even more amazing. Ding. The host breaks through for the first time and activates the ability to swallow the sky and the earth, which can use the energy of all things in the world for his own use. This system really knows how to adapt to the changing circumstances. Ding, this vision is called Wuji. Anyone who comprehends in the Wuji aurora can obtain the Wuji Kung Fu. Ding, the host breathed it out for the first time, and the resentment was transformed into spiritual energy, which could be seen for 1,000,000 miles, containing a hint of the host's insight. Seeing that Xiaoxian was hesitating, the system decided directly. No matter it's his identity or the secret behind him. Ding. The master comes to the world of Dao for the first time and activates nothing in heaven and earth. Now the infinite aurora also appears from the ancient eye. Either a strange person appears there, or a treasure must have appeared there. And why is he pregnant with the system? Is it really because he is the chosen one? I finally broke through after years of shackles. The emergence of the Wuji laser allowed many cultivators in the Wuji realm to break through at this moment. Ding, the system is recognizing the owner, the recognition is successful. Not only are there no tasks to complete, there are no redemption requirements. The appearance of the Wuji aurora allowed me to finally break through to the first level of the Wuji realm. The resentment of the ancient eye has turned into a very strong spiritual energy. Who is it? Since he came from the Dao world. The aloofness I had before I dared to love was all just pretending. The natural vision caused earth-shaking changes in the entire Dao world. Discussions in the Dao world have attracted the attention of countless powerful people. No, it's not that simple. The system quickly said, I can help you break through quickly without charging any reward. In order to save his life, he actually paid such a huge amount of money to help him break through. Many sects sent their disciples to investigate the ancient eye. And what the system said at this time strengthened his inner thoughts. But he still didn't show anything on his face. Since I have become the master of all worlds, I can go to that universe. Even the people from the demon realm sent the demon realm saint and some confidants to the ancient eye. There will be no task restrictions. You only need to wait for passive triggers to obtain various abilities. When Xiaoxian heard these reminders, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 445. The originally silent world of Dao began to look different because of this unprecedented vision. The manpower sent by all the major sects and ancient families also came out in full force. You must seize this great opportunity. And take this opportunity to become the top force in the Avenue world. This vision is an unprecedented phenomenon of heaven and earth in the Deo world. Therefore, even the great hidden families came out here to search for the treasure at the eye of the ancients. In that world, a son of genius should have been born, so such a wonder would appear. The eye of the ancients was originally a forbidden place, but because of his appearance, it not only transformed resentment into spiritual energy. It even brought the aura of the entire Deo world to an abundant stage. We must hurry up and take this person under our command before all the aristocratic families do. The son of genius who was born due to spiritual energy is the most inexperienced at this time and the easiest to control. A proud son stepped forward. What if it's not a human being? Upon hearing this, the elder said confidently, then these spiritual energies must be a collection of unparalleled treasures. We only need to snatch back the treasure to make our sect the #1 family in the Deo world. Then he sent his disciples and the Holy Son to search for the ancient eye. At this time, countless divine beasts gathered in the sky and headed towards the ancient eye. Even the divine beasts and demonic beasts from other realms are facing the ancient eye. They look serious and solemn, as if there was the power of their faith here. Under the attention of countless people, all the monsters bowed in the direction of the ancient eye. This scene shocked countless powerful people. But this is just an appetizer. The bright moon rises over the sea. Splendid mountains and rivers map. The stars shine in the sky. The sun and the moon shine together. Dragons and phoenixes chirp together. 10,000 Buddhas Chao Zone. Aries projection. Temple of the Gods. The immortal king is coming to Jushan. One vision after another caused panic among the powerful and powerful people in the entire Deo world. Not only were their scalps numb from the shock of such a vision, but also the things born from the ancient eye. There was also a certain amount of fear in my heart, but more of it I took it for myself. How can something that can attract so many visions of heaven and earth be controlled by a mortal? But if you can get it to submit to you, it will be a great opportunity. For this reason, all the hidden sects and sects came out in full force. Including the powerful and powerful people in the Wuji realm, they also came out for this purpose. Miracle. It's actually a miracle. It is said that when a miracle occurs, it is the moment when the chosen one is born. The chosen one can be a human being or anything in the world. The chosen one can suppress everything in the world. Once he has mastered cultivation, he will be the strongest being in the world. You can even break through the world barrier and go to that world in the universe. At the moment when the miracle was born, countless heavenly materials and earthly treasures were born here. Regardless of spiritual power or medicinal herbs, the spiritual energy contained in it is hundreds of times greater than that of the outside world. A cultivator can practice here for 1 hour, which is equivalent to 100 years in the outside world. But entering a miracle also requires a cultivation level of Deo Genji or above. Otherwise, they will be unable to withstand the huge amount of spiritual power entering their bodies, and eventually their bodies will explode and die. This is the time for us to change our destiny against heaven. At this time, Patriarch Xiao of Xiajiazhuang looked at the miracle that happened hundreds of miles away from Xiajiazhuang. He was excited and incoherent, and his body was shaking. Xiajiazhuang has existed in the world since the beginning of the world. They were originally from a famous family. However, due to the continuous decrease in the number of talented sons in the clan, Xiajiazhuang declined rapidly. Originally, they also gave birth to a daughter of genius, but it was a pity that she had to practice until she was 13 years old. All the spiritual power has collapsed, and even an ordinary cultivator is inferior. No matter how hard they tried, there was no chance of recovery. I originally thought that Xiajiazhuang was completely on the verge of doom, but I didn't expect that the opportunity to change one's destiny, which was rumored in the clan, had now come. The man who spoke had handsome features and a resolute expression, and his eyes showed deep excitement and disbelief. Since the birth of this thing is related to the life and death of our Ziyajia, it seems that the head of our family must make a trip. That thing must be a treasure of the Xiao family. It can also make you gain glory and wealth and become a master. The host is the master of all realms, commanding thousands of realms and worlds, and is a well-deserved strong man. After all, you are the only person with strong strength and strong background like you in the entire Venus field. As long as you follow me and always think about me, I guarantee that you will be popular and drink spicy food in the future. As a person, I should be low-key. That is in line with my personality. That treasure must be in this man's body. According to the prompts, this is where the treasure was born. In its eyes, Xiao Xian is a completely sinister man. A magic light fell from the sky. If the resentment had not been transformed, as a demon saint, she would have been swallowed up by the resentment. Xiao Xian nodded, "That's right, you did a good job." Xiao Xian tilted his head slightly, and the magic light that was supposed to land in the cave fell in the resentment barrier 100 meters away. Did you go too far? These visions of heaven and earth are as if they don't require money, and they are being released in droves. As long as you hand over the treasure, I can guarantee that you will break through the great Daozuji. If you think so, you're right. His eyes widened in surprise, his face full of disbelief. Chen Yao raised her head proudly and looked at Xiao Xian with contempt. Since you are a strong person, you should have a way of appearing that is consistent with a strong person, so that it fits your strong persona. Chen Yao was confident in the conditions he proposed. Who could refuse the promise given to him by a demon saint? Still don't know what kind of person Xiao Xian is? After all, with your ability, you can only grow if you find a strong person as your backer. I have been dealing with Xiao Xian's system for countless galaxy years. It's just a mortal existence, but since the other party can appear in the ancient eye, it must not be as simple as what you see in front of you. Hand over the treasure and I can guarantee that you will not die. Demon Saint Chen Yao looked at Xiao Xian coldly. This system is really cost-effective. The system is to put the host first. Those tasks, redemption points, etc. are all just clouds. Xiao Xian, who was far away in the ancient eye, saw the impact the system had on him. At this time, on the surface, I don't care about anything, but in fact, the sound is a stroke. Not a trace of spiritual power fluctuations could be seen on the other party, and even Daozuji didn't break through. This will make people think that I am an incompetent person. Therefore, she guessed that this person would appear here, perhaps with help from the family behind him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 446. Chen Yao's sudden appearance and these words. Xiao Xian suddenly woke up from his doubts. The girl in front of him was full of devilish aura. She was holding a magic whip transformed from demonic energy in her hand, the same way she used it when she appeared just now. As well as the aura faintly exuding from her body, it can be concluded that her identity is of great importance in the demon world. Xiao Xian already knew that the people coming here were extraordinary. It seems that I have attracted the attention of all the powerful people in this world. After all, as the master of all realms, every burst of his momentum contains endless terrifying power. It can make people in this world gain unexpected insights. Coupled with the system's momentum, the people coming here at this moment should not only be human beings, but also other types of beings. Xiao Xian looked at the little witch in front of him and thought to himself. Although I am the master of all realms now, I am restricted because of my identity. No matter how powerful the strength is, the characteristics cannot attack them. instead of being restrained by this little witch. It's better to let her resist the fetters of those people for me. Before I grow up, it's best not to compete with them head on. So he just glanced at her and turned to leave. Chen Yao was furious when she saw Xiao Xian being so arrogant. You little mortal, you want to take away the treasure and walk away like this. You are thinking too much. Without saying a word, he killed in the direction Xiao Xian left. The terrifying demonic energy instantly spread across the sky and hit the front. What was surprising was when the demonic energy landed on the ground. There was no murderous aura, and he was even swallowed up by a strong Wuji aura. How is this going? Chen Yao hurriedly stepped forward, only to find that there was a golden bead here. This bead is full of soul, has its own color, and exudes a rich Wuji aura. Just being close makes me feel refreshed and relaxed. Chen Yao slowly approached and held the bead in his hand, a terrifying aura instantly rushed into his dantian. At this moment, her understanding of martial arts broke through instantly, and the magic whip in her hand also advanced at this moment. This bead is so powerful that it can even advance my magic whip. Chen Yao was surprised. Her magic whip had been damaged to its foundation by an experience 100 years ago. If you want to advance, it is difficult to reach the sky, unless you have great fortune. Now it seems that this is the creation, and it seems that the guy just now was the product of the aurora. If I can make him my right and left protector, among the demons, even the demon king will definitely not be my opponent. At this moment, the powerful people from the outside world all came towards the Ancient Eye. They are all trying to take possession of the Ancient Eye's things as their own. At this time, the demon elder behind Chen Yao stepped forward and looked at the beads in her hand. As well as the changes in Chen Yao just now, an idea came to my mind. The vision of the Ancient Eye emerged, and the aura of the Dao world surged. Thousands of beasts worship, hundreds of ghosts walk at night, all signs indicate the changes in the world of Dao. If you can seize this opportunity, before this great fortune comes, you will definitely become the #1 person in the world of Dao. Holy girl, the demon emperor asked me to follow you this time just to find this treasure. Now that the treasure has been found, why not leave it to the old slave to manage it, so that we can complete the task? The demon clan elder's words made Chen Yao a little unhappy. The demon emperor is my father. Even if I take it as my own, my father will never say anything to me. Could it be that you can't even trust me? Or are you saying that you have different intentions? Chen Yao's words shocked the demon elder, and then he quickly explained. The saint's words chilled the old slave's heart. This old slave has followed the demon emperor for millions of years and regards him as his main god. Even if I die, he will not let anything happen to the demon emperor. Saintess, your words are simply crushing my heart to the ground. The demon clan elder's tears and wronged expression made Chen Yao let down her guard. Then he said, that guy may have other treasures on him. If we catch up now, we should be able to search for other things. But that's it? Chen Yao's body hurt, and black demonic blood flowed out from her right shoulder. Turning around, she found the demon elder looking at her with a sinister look on his face. After seeing this scene, I was shocked. But combined with the current changes, Chen Yao quickly reacted. Aren't you afraid that the demon emperor will cut you into pieces? Then she stepped forward and quickly attacked Xiao Xian. But at this moment, if I can transfer his fortune to myself, let alone the demon elder. As long as I find that guy and take back the treasure from him, given time. Even if he finds out, that mortal will be the best scapegoat. When I kill him, everything will fall into place. The demon elder's words made Chen Yao's heart sink instantly. Don't forget that you still have the mark of the demon emperor on your body. As long as he senses what you are doing. Demon emperor. But soon she looked behind the demon elder with a look of horror on her face. Chen Yao's heart surged with murderous intent. But she met Xiao Xian and recalled the scene when this man left. She won't even be repelled, so her physique is coveted by countless people. Chen Yao was suffocated instantly. She wouldn't be afraid if it was someone else, but if it were herself. Not only will you not be able to kill me then, you will also be killed by this thing. Since you have guessed my identity, you should know that my strength is not just as simple as it seems on the surface. Chen Yao became angry from shame and kept thinking about countermeasures. If the demon emperor hadn't been powerful enough, she would have died countless times. The demon elders sneered again and again. The final outcome is death. While the other party was recovering, Chen Yao hurriedly fled the scene with the beads. Even the demon emperor will not be my opponent by then. Therefore, Chen Yao separated into two clones and headed in different directions. She is not only the best cauldron, but also an excellent opportunity for cultivation. Since he is the son of destiny who has just awakened, there must be endless and terrifying infinite destiny in his body. Directly in front of her was a cave, and now she could only place her hope in the cave. We can definitely break through the great Dao Genji. Nowadays, there are constant strange phenomena in the world of Dao, so what if the demon emperor puts a mark on me? Even the demon emperor will definitely not be my opponent, let alone you. As long as you use your power to touch me, the things in your body will explode. So what if you get the treasure? It's not a dead end. As long as you combine with someone, even if the other person is an ordinary person, you can acquire terrifying abilities in a short period of time. You dare. Even my father must be polite to me. In this way, not only can he stand out from the tight encirclement, but his skills can also be further advanced. As soon as these words came out. Why don't you dare? With your strength and my own ability. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 447. Chen Yao naturally didn't believe Xiao Xian's words. The demon elder was just a sneak attack, and there was no way he could put anything into her body during the sneak attack. However, just as she was doing her exercises, she felt a demonic energy circulating within her body. And it kept rushing towards her consciousness, as if it was about to break through her consciousness. At this time, Chen Yao already had doubts in her heart. This demonic energy may have entered her body at the same time as the elder struck. Chen Yao immediately took it back, but it was still a step too late. At this moment, the demonic energy was already flowing through her body. Since you are seeking death, I can't stop you. Even if you stop now, it's too late. The demonic energy has already exploded in your body. And it will lure the person who poisoned you to come here. Even if you use a clone, it will not help. Xiao Xian's words made Chen Yao's heart sink instantly. At this time, she was no match for the elder. If you are willing to take me to escape, I will report it to the demon emperor and ask him to make you the protector of the demon clan. Enjoy the glory and wealth, always have beautiful women and delicious food by your side. Xiao Xian shook his head. In front of me, you are just an ant. It's not worth asking me to save him. Even if that person comes after me, there will only be death. It's just you, why? Chen Yao's face turned pale as she listened to the footsteps outside getting closer and closer. Her heart gradually rose, and then she said, although you are the son of luck, you have just entered the world of Dao, and you must not have developed your true strength. Even if you can confront the demon elders, you can't escape the encirclement and suppression by others. If you save me, I can give you a way to improve quickly. And without any backlash. I originally thought that Xiao Suanhui would be very moved by this condition. But the other party shook his head lightly. Since I can confront him, I have plenty of ways to escape. What's more, not only are hundreds of toxins eroding your body, but your foundation is also in danger. Even if I save you, what can you do to help me break through? Even if my current state is really what you said, as long as I leave before the demon elders come, everything can be avoided. Xiao Xian's words made Chen Yao's heart sink to the bottom. Reluctance, anger, and hatred filled my heart. At this time, the demon clan elders rushed here with a group of demon clan disciples. Looking at the extraordinary Xiao Xian in front of him, a trace of doubt arose in his heart. Can an ordinary person really survive unscathed in such a cave? Although Chen Yao was poisoned by him, it was impossible for him to be unable to kill even a mortal. Therefore, there is only one possibility. The man in front of me is the Aurora of the Ancient Eye. Thinking of this, the demon elder couldn't help but feel excited. If you can acquire his skills, you will be invincible in the world of Dao. The saint has been controlled by the gangster, and the person in front of her is just a puppet. If this villain can be captured, the demon emperor will definitely reward him heavily. The demon soldiers behind him hesitated slightly when they heard these words. But looking at the situation in front of me, I know the final outcome. Even though they knew that they were the real demon saint in front of them, they did not hesitate to attack her. Catch the person who killed the saint and avenge the saint. Chen Yao was shocked, even though she knew that the person in front of her was the son of fate. But the opponent's potential has not been exploited. In a head-to-head confrontation, I don't know what the chance of winning is. They are really greedy people. They know the facts in front of them, but they still want to turn a deer into a horse for their own selfish desires. It's really interesting. When he looked at the demon soldiers in front of him again, those demon soldiers have been completely wiped out, and even the demon clan elders have countless wounds on their bodies. Xiao Xian took action so quickly that no one realized what was going on. How did you do this? It's obvious that it hasn't even reached Daozuji, so why is it so lethal? Xiao Xian patted the unnecessary dust on his body. He looked intently at an open space in front of him. Now that we're here, why bother covering it up? As the words fell, a hidden white figure appeared in front of him. Chen Yao exclaimed, "Chen Zhen." There was a burst of joy in my heart, but I quickly reacted. How will you be here? Chen Zhen is her half-brother, and he has shown great care to her over the years. If he really came to save himself, he should have taken action before. The demon elder turned into countless ashes and disappeared before his eyes. It's a pity that the old guy is of no use, so I have to do it myself. I will go to the Ancient Eye now to find the existence of the Son of Destiny. Xiao Xian was startled. What the hell? Xiao Xian. Chen Zhenpi looked at Xiao Xian with a smile. If I can get the help of the Son of Fate, I will definitely be able to break through the great Dao Genji. Even if the system made such a show of force, his skill has not improved at all. A mechanical sound rang in his ears. Xiao Xian. Chen Zhen smiled slightly. You have already guessed it, why do you still ask me? Above the pieces of colorful auspicious clouds, there are waves of terrifying infinite luck. The birth of the Son of Destiny must mean that something terrible is about to happen. Everyone who hears the name of the Master will achieve a breakthrough. Immediately afterwards, a terrifying thunder sound came from the sky. At this moment, Xiao Xian seriously suspected that the system was intentional. Finally, two deed-shaped characters were outlined, Xiao Xian. Then he waved his hand. He was also imprisoned here for his own reasons. Instead of waiting for others to speak before showing up, and judging from his posture, it looks like he is going to fight. Countless powerful people in the world of Dao rushed to the Ancient Eye. If you can take it away and make it your own, what else will you need to practice in this life? Even stagnant, it can be said that these gadgets are just a showpiece and of no use. No matter how awesome his status and background are, and how powerful he is. The Ancient Eye gave birth to a child of destiny. As a son of luck who was born from Aurora, you don't know your surname. Xiao Xian's voice just landed. Even some hidden powers came out one after another, just to win this person's luck. But more importantly, I feel the infinite power brought by these two big characters. Ding. The master gets a name for the first time and activates the famous 9-day skill. Hundreds of beasts worship, born with visions. It gives people a feeling of worship. In other words, he is still a newbie. Auspicious clouds and auspicious colors gradually replace the entire blue sky. I originally wanted to use this old guy's hand to deal with you, so that I can get the treasure without exposing myself. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 448. Chen Zhen looked at the two big characters on the sky. I was greatly shocked, he was indeed the son of luck. Xiaoxian. What a good name. It's our first time meeting you, why don't you use force to make friends? Chen Zhen wanted to test the opponent's bottom line. Let's see how capable Xiaoxian is. It was only in the end that he decided to carry out or change his plan. Chen Yao naturally heard the meaning of the other party's words. In order to delay time, she said, Chen Zhen, I treat you as my own brother in vain. But you did this to me. Where is your conscience? Chen Zhen raised his eyebrows and looked at Chen Yao, brother? In the demon clan, you talk to me about blood relations. Are you too naive or do you have no brains? The demon tribe is a place that eats people without spitting out their bones. If I don't have any strength, how can I impress the demon emperor? Is it really because of this bit of blood flowing through me? Chen Zhen's words shocked Chen Yao. The demon emperor had countless affairs outside the country, and he left an unknown number of heirs. If he really cared about blood ties, he would have thousands of descendants. And the reason why she gained the respect of the demon emperor was because of her physique. Seeing Chen Yao's face full of disbelief, Chen Zhen scorned with great disdain, since the Son of Destiny and the cauldron are both here. Then I, the Holy Son, must make the best use of everything. First, kill Xiaoxian and seize his body. Then I will take you to the sky and convert your magic power. So what if you become the demon emperor? Why don't you die in my hands? The entire Dao world will be my world. Counting the time, the charm in your body should explode. After I deal with Xiaoxian, I will go find you. Chen Zhen smiled obscenely, making Xiaoxian feel that his eyes were polluted. So he came to Chen Zhen in a flash. But the other party seemed to be on guard, and not only blocked Xiaoxian's attack. He even killed directly towards his life gate. Chen Yao's mind turned rapidly. Although Xiaoxian has just entered the world of Dao, since he can be selected by the ancient eye to become the Son of Destiny, there must be something in him that others don't have. If he comes to the rescue this time, it will make him feel compassion for her. Maybe we can take this opportunity to break through the avenue Genji. After briefly weighing the pros and cons, she threw the bead in her hand away. This is an inner elixir that can temporarily increase your strength. Xiaoxian, please take it quickly. Before Xiaoxian could react, what was the inner elixir the other party was talking about? I smelled a strange smell that filled the air. Holy crap! Who the hell would fart at this time? Just as Xiaoxian was about to get rid of the stench, he found a cold jade hand grabbing his wrist and took him outside. At the same time, there were bursts of explosions behind him. Several ideas came to Chen Yao's mind, and she finally settled on the beauty trap. Xiaoxian has just entered the world of Dao, and his abilities have not yet been developed. If you have sex with him at this time and add the secret method of the demons, maybe you can reverse the situation. By transferring the qi in Xiaoxian's body to yourself, you can not only gain his abilities, but also easily defeat a difficult enemy. You can also become a child of luck. But what Xiaoxian said just now made her instantly confused. Fart. Who farts at this time? Thinking of the bead thrown out, everything becomes clear. Perhaps it was the poisonous gas that was born in that place when you arrived. This is why such a stinking weapon has been formed. Speaking of which, I have to thank it. Xiao Xian blurted out after hearing this, "That's a fart." He didn't tense up for a moment and relaxed as much as he could. As a result, the system turned it into a terrifying stench. Now I am even more shocked by the power of that stinky fart. Chen Yao was still running away and suddenly froze. "What did you say? That was your fart? How is that possible? A fart is so powerful." She gaped at the sight in front of her. The cave collapsed, the demon soldiers were killed by the fart explosion, and even the Holy Sun was seriously injured. "Who the hell are you?" Xiao Xian glanced at Chen Yao with great disgust, as if to say, "A majestic demon saint who can't even tell the difference between farts. He even got into a fight over a fart and gained some enlightenment." Chen Yao felt nauseated when she saw this scene. She instantly felt that the magic whip in her hand was extremely disgusting. But he quickly calmed down, since Xiao Xian was so powerful even with a fart. "If you stay by his side, will you get greater opportunities?" At this time, Chen Zhen came towards Xiao Xian with a long sword, and there was a terrifying demonic aura on the sword. However, Xiao Xian grabbed him with one hand and destroyed all his cultivation in the blink of an eye. "How dare you destroy me? If the demon emperor finds out, you will definitely die without any trace of your body." Chen Zhen couldn't accept that his cultivation was instantly turned into nothing. He had been fighting for his status all his life, but now he was easily dismissed. Even if he returns to the demon emperor, there is only one way to die. Quack. Xiao Xian took out his ears and was about to kill him with a sword. There was a terrifying momentum in the air. Forced by this momentum, Xiao Xian took half a step back. When he looked again, Chen Zhen had been taken away. Just in case, Xiao Xian turned around and walked in the opposite direction. Just as he walked 100 meters forward, a high-level unicorn appeared in front of him and lay on the ground very obediently. It seemed that being ridden by Xiao Xian was a very glorious thing and worthy of showing off. But Chen Yao followed closely behind. When I saw the scene of Kailan, my whole body was shocked. This unicorn is the king of all unicorns, and even the demon emperor is no match for him. But now he was lying in front of Xiao Xian obediently. This is simply unbelievable. At this time, Xiao Xian's cold voice came over. "You have been charmed by a charm, and no one can cure it unless the person who did it dies. Have you thought clearly about the consequences of following me?" Chen Yao took a step forward. "If I can help you, will you be my backer? At least until I grow up, you will support me unconditionally. Although you are extremely powerful, you have no strength of your own and rely entirely on external forces. What if I could help you gain strength and be this external force?" Xiao Xian raised his eyebrows. "You are very smart, you know what you need, and you fight for it." Then he stepped forward and climbed on Kailan's body. Chen Yao knew that she made the right bet this time. Everyone gets what they need. As the unicorn figure goes away, Chen Yao also took Xiao Xian to a palace. This is her bedroom in the devil world. Without her permission, even the demon emperor cannot easily enter it. "Are you sure you've thought about it?" Xiao Xian asked again. Chen Yao nodded and then lay on the bed. "You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors." Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 449. As a woman who grew up among demons, Chen Yao naturally understands the entanglement between worldly desires and interests. Although Xiao Xian didn't make it too clear, she knew very well that if she wanted to get what she wanted, she had to pay the price. She is a woman. Since he is inferior to Xiao Xian in terms of strength in cultivating spiritual weapons and magic weapons, if he wants to get help from the latter, he may have to hand over his body. Lying in the palace, a tear flashed across the corner of Chen Yao's eyes. Get up. I'm not interested in you, at least not now. Xiao Xian shook his head slightly. I am not someone who takes advantage of others' danger. After saying this, Chen Yao couldn't help but be stunned. As a saint from the demon cult, she considers herself to be pretty good in terms of appearance and figure. Even in the world of Dao, she is pursued by many talented people. But now he is disliked by Xiao Xian? Isn't she beautiful? You. Chen Yao felt angry for a while. However, when I thought about it again, my face turned red and I felt shy. What is this? Not long after she and Xiao Suan came met, they actually had the idea of devoting themselves to each other. Is this the charm of the so-called favored man? Didn't you just say that there is no way to solve the charm spell in me except that way? Chen Yao gritted her teeth. That's just for ordinary people. I am not an ordinary person. Xiao Xian chuckled. Joke. As the founding spirit, he possesses so many talents, and his cultivation level is unparalleled in ancient and modern times. How can a mere charm trick defeat him? What's more, when he saw this charming technique for the first time, he has already judged that such extremely inferior charm skills are not worth mentioning in front of him. You, who are you? Did you encounter a strange encounter with gods and demons here? Chen Yao couldn't help but be curious. No adventure. It's just my own strength. Xiao Xian shook his head. He didn't mean what he said. Although he had just arrived in the world of the Great Dao, he did feel a vague sense of the rules of the Great Dao in this world. Plus there is system help. He has the confidence to stand in this world. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for increasing the favorability of the demonic saint by 20%. Now the favorability is 30%. Please host to receive the reward, a piece of spiritual grass. It can enhance the power of the avenue to comprehend. 10 Lingyuan pills, can enhance the power of the host's avenue. Mysterious level weapon, Heavenly Wolf Sword. Suanja Treasure Armor, 7-star protective armor. Favorability. Xiao Xian was stunned. If he remembers it well. Since he got the system, this seems to be the first time he has heard of such a thing as favorability. Moreover, why do the spiritual grass equipment and other equipment given to him by the system sound a bit unsatisfactory? It was far less commotion than when he was born. System, what kind of plane are you planning? I was born just now, and it caused a strange phenomenon in the world. All the beasts surrendered, and even the horse under me was the Kylan king. What kind of trouble are you going to make by giving me this piece of shit? Xiao Xian looked puzzled. The host has misunderstood. Although you have the ability to flow through time and have a distinguished life, the things I give you are definitely not ordinary. The system quickly explained, not to mention those 2 elixirs, as long as the host takes them, they can greatly increase the spiritual energy in the world of Dao. The Sirius sword can be called the sharpest spiritual sword in the world of heaven. The 7-star body armor can withstand the full blow of the people in the heavenly realm. After hearing this, Xiao Xian was silent for a moment. He could feel that since arriving at Dao continent, the system's attitude toward him had obviously changed dramatically. From being aloof before, to being kneeling and licking now. These gifts are also made in various ways to make yourself stronger. However, at this time, he is already very different from before. With the blessing of time, he can completely transcend the world in the world of Taoism. It seems like you don't have to worry about these equipment magic weapons anymore. He discovered that although this woman was a member of the demon cult, she was different from the demon cult elders and demon cult saints he had met before. Although she also pursued power, she was completely conquered by him at this moment. For a moment. However, in this life, you will definitely meet people who have entanglements with you, the host. Some people are friends and some are enemies. Only these people will show favorability, and host, don't get me wrong. The most real effect of these things I gave you is that you can use these magic weapons to harm people in the Dao world without worrying about side effects. Wouldn't it be possible to predict the future? Perhaps Xiao Xian can take advantage of this. Furthermore, if the host's strength is raised to Dao Zuji, he can see the fate of everyone in the Dao world. Fate. Chen Yao, who was ignored by him, had a rosy face, blurred eyes, rapid breathing, and the waxy whispers in her mouth were filled with endless amorous feelings. Chen Yao stretched out two snow-white arms and exhaled like orchid, "Mr. Xiao, I feel so uncomfortable. Some are born as nobles of royal descent, some are born as slaves of the lower class, and even more are the proud ones of 1 in a million or even 1 in a million." Xiao Xian also nodded secretly. There must be a reason for what the system did. He judged that this situation should be due to the special status of the demon sect Saint Chen Yao, or she might have something to do with him in the future. In this way, no matter how high Xiao Xian is, isn't it just like a floating cloud? Xiao Xian can roughly feel it. If only he could see the destiny of these people early. Just when Xiao Xian was concentrating on talking to the system reveals its secrets in one word. Is this the benefit that the passage of time and the addition of the system has brought to him? After saying that, the system's sound disappeared. The creatures of heaven and earth, all races in the universe. It turns out that the charm in her body is about to explode. The system stopped suddenly in the middle of speaking. Why didn't the people in the Dao world I met before show any favorability? The host is a person with a natural personality. He can control the world throughout his life. He is invincible and can dominate the world. Hey, Mr. Xiao, I feel so uncomfortable. System, one last question, what is the favorability level? Yes, the system prompts the host that when the woman's favorability to the host rises to 80%, she will completely surrender to the host. I definitely wouldn't dare to turn against him. When I heard the word fate, I couldn't help but feel a little moved in my heart. Xiao Xian is well informed. I have to say that the system guy sometimes seems out of place, but he still knows what he needs. Xiao Xian was a little relieved. At the same time, he also gained some understanding of Chen Yao, the so-called saint of the devil's sect. Although the passage of time can make him invincible, if he cannot harm the aborigines in the Dao world, he will naturally not be able to deter them. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 450. In the bedroom. Xiao Xian didn't even blink. With a tap of his finger in the air, a few green avenue auras appeared, instantly blocking several key meridians and acupuncture points on Chen Yao's body. Originally, Xiao Xian planned to use his Taoist methods to try to remove Chen Yao's charm. But every time the power of the avenue enters Chen Yao's body, there seemed to be an invisible shackles between heaven and earth, forcibly limiting the power of the avenue in him. The originally strong and majestic spiritual power. In this world, he can't even exert 1/10 of his power, and he can even feel that the laws of heaven and earth are still competing against his power. Xiao Xian took a breath of air. He originally thought that with the long river of time and system bonuses on him, in this great world, although he would not have the power to reach the heaven and the earth, he should still be regarded as a middle-level person. Now it seems he still underestimated the power of the avenue world to oppress him. In this way, in order to unlock the charm spell on Chen Yao, the only way is to kill the demon sect elder who cast the charm spell on her. Take out the Lingyuan elixir that was rewarded by the system just now. Xiao Xian observed it carefully. He was surprised to find that the elixir the size of a dragon's eye had an unattractive appearance. It looked gray and unremarkable, even inferior to the low-level elixirs in the Xinwu continent. Use your spiritual power to feel it. He discovered that it actually contained extremely strong spiritual power. This seemingly low-level elixir is actually not inferior to the high-level elixirs from the prehistoric continent. System, are you going a little too far? With our friendship, you just give me the scrap. Don't I deserve some good elixirs? Xiao Xian now no longer has the submissive look before when facing the system. Host, please don't get me wrong. It's not that I won't give you good elixirs, but in this great world, the power of Wu is too strong. With the host's current body, I'm afraid it won't be able to bear the elixirs that are too powerful. If I forcefully give you high-level elixirs, I'm afraid you will explode and die. The elixir I gave you is already the most powerful elixir your body can accept at this stage. The system responds very quickly. There was a bit of grievance in the cold voice. Like a child who has been wrongly accused. After hearing this response, Xiao Xian couldn't help laughing. Among all the time travelers in the world, he might be the only one who can reprimand the system like him, right? That's all. In that case, I won't care. Xiao Xian waved his hand slightly to make the system disappear. A Lingyuan pill appeared in his hand. Seeing that Chen Yao had fallen asleep under the acupuncture seal, he swallowed the Lingyuan pill in one gulp. Almost instantly. After the elixir entered Xiao Xian's qi, a pure and rich energy was dissolved in his body. In a place where Xiao Xian cannot see, the power of the Xian mysterious spirit is like thousands of agile energy snakes, helping Xiao Xian Kanghua's body. Bones, meridians, qi, danshan. All the places needed by the cultivator, as long as the energy spirit snake passes by, will be greatly strengthened, making Xiao Xian's entire body seem to have been reborn. The sound is like thunder and the shape is like a tiger and leopard. If it weren't for the formation suppression in Chen Yao's palace. Such evolutionary movements can be felt by people dozens of miles away. Half an hour later, one Lingyuan pill was quickly digested, and Xiao Xian finally felt the powerful energy of the Lingyuan pill. At the same time, after the body's bones were opened, he felt that his body was like a big sponge that could absorb infinite energy, eager for energy infusion. 1, 2, 3, 4. A full 6 Lingyuan pills were used. Xiao Xian discovered that his body's energy was roughly satisfied and seemed to have reached a certain level of balance. Are you about to break through? It seems that this great world is also divided into many levels. I don't know if the experience accumulated in the past is still useful. Open one's eyes. Xiao Xian obviously felt that his body was fuller, and his hands and feet no longer felt as frivolous as when he first came to the mainland. A slight swing of the fist can cause bursts of punching wind. However, when he looked at himself, he found that there was an extra layer of black mud on his body that was fishy and smelly. He was no stranger to this. Is the spiritual power I have cultivated for so many years gone? It seems that now I still have to use the Sirius sword and the 7-star body armor you gave me. This made him a little frustrated. Wasn't this equivalent to the fact that he had endless strength, but he just couldn't use it here? Before, after he understood and comprehended the great Dao on the ancient road, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds, and he has become omnipotent in heaven and earth, and can even compete with the way of heaven. Although it is impossible to completely destroy the inheritance of heavenly Dao. Pick up the Sirius sword. Finished saying this. It's just because of the feud between Dao that it can't be used in Dao Continental Mountain. Understand both avenues. The system's voice sounded again, as long as you can understand these two avenues, the spiritual power you have cultivated on other continents will come back. He summoned the space magic weapon he brought with him, washed and changed his clothes again, and then he felt refreshed again. He couldn't help but laugh a little. Xiao Xian flipped his palm, and 2 pieces of equipment containing spiritual power and precious energy appeared in his hands at the same time. It was probably the Lingyuan pill that helped him expel toxins from his body. A buzzing sound. Now, if he understands another great way and the 2 great ways merge into one, Wouldn't he be able to prehistoric the universe and become invincible in the world? Xiao Xian understood a little bit. Walking to a big tree that was big enough for the two of them to hug, he waved slightly, and a green gust of palm suddenly appeared, leaving a deep gash in the big tree. Xiao Xian felt a pain in his body. Who knew that when he came to this great continent, his strength would be reduced to such a small amount? As the founding Yuanling, he was once a big shot in the Tianwu continent and on the ancient road, turning his hands into clouds and rain. Even Taoist ancestors and Buddhas could be manipulated by him. The serious sword then let out a roar like a wolf's howl. But he can also be regarded as a unique emperor between heaven and earth. Host, there is no need to worry. As the founding spirit, the spiritual power you have cultivated on other continents has been completely integrated into your body. You cannot use it now just because of the discord between the two. System, explain it to me. Xiao Xian is really curious about his current skill level. After walking out of the bedroom, is it possible that the spiritual power he has cultivated for thousands of years has disappeared? The heavenly wolf sword is completely black and cold to the touch. The sword hand also has a wolf head totem that looks up to the sky and roars. It looks extremely domineering and can make people fearful just by getting close to it. According to the meaning of the system, his previous spiritual power has not disappeared. So little power? He saw. But he quickly understood the system's words. New.